What's shaking? What's popping? What's good? It's Saturday, and um, I want to talk about resistance today. I think life becomes a lot more playful and a lot more fun when we get some perspective about resistance. So I love comparing the resistance in electricity and physics to um, the way we flow thoughts toward or against what we envision as visionaries, as pioneers of our own lives, as creators of our own lives. So, energy flows, a current flows, and then some mechanism or apparatus interrupts that flow of energy. That's what that is. That's what resistance is. Um, a car's going in a certain direction, you hit the brakes. That resistance pushes against the current of that flow. It slows things down. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. You want to be able to slow down the direction you're going in when you want to pivot. That's very, very useful. Another cool comparison would be um, the light and darkness. You need both to be able to actually see what's in front of you. If everything was awash with light, you couldn't see. And if there was an absence of light, you can't see shit either. You need both. So relative to uh mental health, relative to navigating the landscape of your life, it's really helpful to look at negative experiences and negative thoughts as a very important mechanism in designing your life. You need to make friends, just like you need to make friends with your environment and friends with your current situation. You have to make friends with resistance. So, what helps me are two things. The first is recognizing that it is absolutely important uh, to help understand the landscape of who you are, because who you are is constantly changing. Who you are is constantly evolving as you have good experiences, positive experiences, or negative experiences. They're refining events. Let's say, for example, let's take some person who's just exploring dating for the first time and they don't really know much about themselves. Let's say they've lived a sheltered life, just for a clean example, and they go out into the dating world and all they know is this: they want to like the person, they want the person to like them, and they want to make a meaningful connection, right? So as they start dating, there are things they see on dates that they like. There are things they see on dates that they don't like. And it helps them clarify what they want in the next date, in the next experience, in the next exchange. Sometimes you can go on a date and learn something about a person that you hadn't even considered a quality you wanted in a person before that you do want. And the other way around. So it's information, it's feedback. The resistance when you say, hey, I like that, but I don't like that, is actually rooted in preference. It's the uniqueness that makes your personality. Q hates grapefruit. Don't give me no damn grapefruit. I can't stand it. Okay? That's it. I don't like grapefruit. And it's a unique characteristic that makes me uniquely me. Don't buy me no damn grapefruits, please. Okay? So, so putting it in perspective and understanding it's a part of the evolutionary process of who you are is extremely helpful. Make friends with resistance. The second thing that's super important to acknowledge is resistance is extremely useful in short bursts. So once you have an experience, I don't care if it lasts a week, a month, a year. Once you move through the experience and have the sensitivity to recognize when you've moved through an experience, and we'll talk about that in another video. But once you develop that sensitivity and you recognize you've moved through an experience, it is imperative that you don't stay in that resistant state over time. That's when you start flooding your body with very hard, harsh chemicals and hormones that we attribute to anxiety and stress and disrupt our ability to function. So resistance is cool, but in short bursts. Okay, I know from this experience, I don't want this. Now it's your job to pivot and redirect the flow of energy. You've refined what your vision is, as you get more information, as you explore your environment. So now you have a more refined vision of what you want. You have a more refined understanding of what you deserve and what you expect and what you're reaching for as you move through your life. So you have to let go of the resistant focus to let the current continue to flow in the new direction, in the more refined direction that you're going in. Resistance is your friend. It helps you sort, prioritize, organize, and clarify what you intend your life to be. And if you just are wise enough to lay off of it, once you've established what you know, once you get out of an environment that is triggering you that way, and just pivot and go to what you earned as a result, it is liberating. So let's say, for example, I want to punch everybody in my office in the face because nobody is doing what they're supposed to do and nobody's focusing on what they're supposed to focus on. In this point in time, what do I know? I know for sure from where I'm standing that what I can control is my personal excellence. My personal excellence. That means while these people are doing what they're doing or not doing what they're supposed to be doing, me personally, I'm going to stay focused on what I'm supposed to do, what I've tasked myself to do, taking pride in how I apply myself to things that I've taken on, and try not to control anyone else because that is out of my hands. And it's introducing resistance. When you're trying to control someone else who has their own will, their own life, and their own choices and their own resistance, that is a shit show you don't want anything to do with, quite frankly. You have a lot more leverage and a lot more leeway to come up with a solution if you're not burning your bandwidth on resisting other people's behavior. And that is really, really, really annoying at first. And then super liberating when you get the hang of it, because there are so many options available to you that you can't even recognize when you're under a state of anxiety and tension. And I'm talking even on the low grade. It literally just it interrupts the current of flow of what you're reaching for. So you literally can't see things that are right in front of you. And have you ever had a person that you're constantly giving advice to that seems really damn obvious? It's because they're not in range. They have short circuited because they're focused over such a prolonged period of time in what is unwanted. Again, that is important to have in your life. You can't make it a disaster and a catastrophe. Don't catastrophize your conflicts. You have to do the best you can to get off of the resistance so you can stop flooding those tension causing chemicals into your body and into your system that interrupt your ability to function as a whole person. So helpful. And once you do that, you're able to process your feelings a lot faster. Process, not suppress. That's super important. When you're resisting an experience, you can't process it because you're too busy pushing against it. Let life flow through you. I don't give a damn what it is. You have to flow through you. If you're still alive After you've had a horrible experience, that means you are more than the experience. So you have to let it flow through you, and you have to let it move through you so you can continue to flow, or you interrupt the current and you create a larger gap and a larger gap and a larger gap and a larger gap between you and the life you want to live. And then it just makes you feel worthless. It just really does. And that is not what we're reaching for. So think about that today. Think about the little ways where you bristle so many times a day, where you're introducing resistance into your system by saying, oh, I don't like that, or oh, I don't want to do, I got to do the dishes. Oh, this living room's a mess. Oh, I got to go do this today. Oh, I got to go do that. Like, just feel it a little bit and lay off the brakes. Just lay off the brakes. Lay off the brakes today. Just be light on the brakes today. And you can feel the difference register in your body immediately. It is wonderful. You're not supposed to be walking around feeling fucking exhausted all the time. That's not really what we're designed for. And the fact that disease manifests as a result is the evidence that that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's the body saying, hey, 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 asshole. Let's work together here. Work with your body. Work with the flow of your life. Appreciate the resistance, but it has a place, and you choose every single time. Have a good day.